Okay, so it's live now, so see if you can get on.
Okay. All right. Looks like, are we clicking on the YouTube? Okay, Sally. Oh, something for you, Leah? Yeah. Now we see Trey on there.
Yeah, but I still can't see you. So the question is what? I thought I did it the same way last time.
Oh, okay, streaming live. That was from last time. Oh, we're getting a delayed response. Okay. Oh. Do you have a blue hat on, Trey?
Yep. Yeah, see you guys are, it sounds like you're in viewer mode, but you should be in where you can actually interact.
Are you going to watch?
Huh?
Oh, I just heard. Okay. Trey's you're totally online. I see you, but comment. Yeah, you guys, sounds like you're in viewer mode, but you should be in where you can actually interact. Okay, so, I guess, where are we talking about? Please just talk join a video call. Broadcasting. Okay. Oh, I think I'm linking to the camera.
Okay, so we got one. I can see Abigail, and but I can't see Kristen.
Okay, so can you see me?
Yeah, turn off your phone.
Okay.
Kristen, are you there?
I don't see Kristen. Trey, can you see Abby?
I can.
Okay,
Where are
good.
you?
I'm
Where are
right
you?
here. I'm hanging out on the side. I'm gonna
Oh,
let
okay.
you guys do
Hiding
it
out.
first, and then see if I have a part in here, or if I don't. If I don't, I'm totally fine with
Okay. Kristen dropped off.
that. Okay. You know what? My Google Plus is saying install the Hangouts plugin to get started. Do I have to do that?
Oh, okay. Well, you can try it. I didn't know that it asked for you to do that, but yeah, you can go ahead and do it. I mean, even though yours is working, we're talking on your laptop, right?
No, we're talking on Abby's.
So
Well,
Chris.
Kristen was on just now, but I don't know what happened to her.
Well, I had her on the phone, so maybe that was it. Oh,
She was.
No, I saw her. A box came up with her name in it.
huh. You want me to call her again?
He froze.
Yeah, I wonder if we should try something different. Or do you like the light? I can't tell which one is better.
Let's see. Let's see what the light looks like.
Maybe the light is good.
I like the light.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if she was able to.
Hers says unresponsive, but she's trying again.
Okay, so hopefully she'll be able to get on.
Are we up and running? Yeah, I suppose we are, right?
Yep, because I can see.
Yep.
She can get on. Let's see. I can maximize this.
Well, this seems to be working a little bit better as long as hopefully we can get Kristen on here and test it out.
Yeah, because it's not freezing anymore.
No, and I also checked, I have AT&T for my internet service, and I talked to them about things to do to keep the speed from dropping. And I realized that part of the reason why mine drops is because my DirecTV, when it streams something, it knocks down bandwidth.
Oh.
So I have my TV turned.
Oh, okay. Well, and there we froze.
Oh no.
She can hear us.
Okay. Invite her again.
So I guess the question is, am I sending her share the permanent link?
The way that it works for me is,
No,
I see you.
Okay. But mine has the
Oh, something happened. So Trey's in the corner, I'm in the corner, and then
your profile picture.
Okay, I want to take that off. Okay, let me try. How do I go? How do I get out? Or can I? Oh, this is awkward. Okay, I can hear myself.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Oh.
Hey Trey, how do I get out of it?
Get out of what?
okay, so she can see us,
No, she says she can't. Oh, she can see Abby and Trey. Okay.
but I can't see her. And he's frozen.
And I can't get.
I see a picture of you, Aaliyah, with the mic turned off.
I know. I'm trying to actually get out. Oh wait, I'm speaking.
Well, if you just hit that phone up at the top, it'll turn you off. Or it should.
Yeah, it's just that I want to actually unjoin the conversation because I don't want my picture just kind of sitting there while you guys talk.
Well, it's only doing that because your camera must be off. Is your camera off on your laptop or whatever?
It's off purposely. I was just gonna let you guys have the conversation. And I'm in the same room as
Now,
Abby.
are you and Abigail sitting right next to each other? Because there's an echo, so your backs are up to each other.
So I'll turn the mic.
You call. That's easy.
There we go. Good job.
That was easy.
So now I'll just Kristen.
On mine, it shows Trey, Abby, and Kristen. So she can see Abby and Trey.
Yeah, but see, I think the problem with Kristen is that for some reason or another she's logged in as a spectator and not a participant.
Okay.
So that's why she can see us. I think. What I don't know how to do is figure out a way to get her so she actually can log in like you guys did.
I wonder if there's like another platform that is specific for like video podcasting.
But isn't right? But like something that's more streaming.
Yeah, I guess so. Just something that's easier to number one join and number two. I can look up and see if there's anything.
Do me a favor and
No, he's froze.
Do me a favor and
You froze on us.
What do you want me to tell Kristen, Trey?
Say again.
What do you want me to tell Kristen? She said to invite her again to the hangout, and then she says that she can see both you and Abby.
Yeah, tell her to check her email. I just sent her a direct link that hopefully will get her in so she's actually a participant.
Said he just sent you a direct link to join.
Let's see. There's they're saying for multiple presenters in a different location, things get rather more complicated. Mix IR will still work for multi-host audio broadcast, but you'll need some fairly complex technical magic to pipe your Skype audio into a single channel. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay, so they're saying that the on-air for Google Plus, we need a Google Plus web account for it to be easier.
Okay.
Hangout is a powerful free video conferencing system available to everyone on the Google Plus network. On-air is the newest feature that enables the Hangout to be simultaneously broadcast live to YouTube. So I think in order to get the on-air, we need to get, Kristen and I need to get a Google Plus account just to make it easier for us to all join so he doesn't have to continuously invite us.
Oh, did you hear that, Trey?
I think he froze.
Trey, did you hear that?
Yeah, he's frozen.
Was just reading online that it would be easier if everybody had Google Plus. I think it's pretty easy to join if
Oh
you
yeah.
want. Yeah,
It's super
Okay.
easy. It's free and everything. So I think that would be the best way to do it.
Kristen has it.
Okay. So she needs to sign in then with her Google Plus account. It should automatically pop up then.
Should I just tell him that you're going to join it real quick then? Or
Can do that. Let me see if there's any in there. Okay, so video. Ustream.tv is the most popular. No customization control for embedded, optional chat room. So these are all the podcasts for
Okay.
video. These are
Stream
video.
TV. Trey, can you hear us?
Are you able to hear us?
I can hear you fine.
Abby, did you hear? Abby was just looking up as far as Google Air, some glitches that may be coming up that may be easier. I guess if you have Google Plus, it makes it easier to connect.
One thing, but then Kristen's having a really hard time, and
Yeah.
she has Google Plus, so that's why I'm.
Uh-huh.
Now there's
Well, you know, one thing I did do, I sent the link, but it wasn't a Gmail address.
now there's YouTube Live.
Trey?
Yeah, that's different than what we're using. YouTube Live is a separate thing that YouTube offers.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Is that Kristen getting on?
There she
Ah!
is. Oh, there you are.
Yay!
Yay! Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So what did you finally do?
You know, pretty much that link that you sent, the one that was the Google Plus, that Trey Brady is inviting you, I had to go through that. It wasn't letting me click on in any other way, so that was strange. But I even downloaded the app. There's like a Hangout app on your phone. But I think we're connected. Hi, guys.
Hi. Hey.
So it's switching between, I guess, between Trey and Abby.
Yeah, Kristen, I'm hanging out on the side. I'm still here, but I'm just, I'm kind of
Okay.
like letting it be you guys right now. And if there's a part for me in the future, there is, but right now I'm just kind of letting it be you guys.
Perfect.
Okay, so at least now we know that the quickest and easiest way to do this is for me to send out the link as opposed to email invites.
Did that work for everyone else? Did that work for you, Abigail?
Yes, that did.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. So I guess it switches back whenever, okay, whenever we click or when someone's talking. This is awesome.
Yeah, and just so you know, I didn't send out the link, but for instance, last week when we were kind of playing around, that video will post. This one's posting now in real time. So, you know, after this is over, you can actually take a look at it. I'll send you the link.
Okay. Okay.
The whole period of time where we were trying to get on, but, you know.
Yeah, that took a minute. Sorry for the the not so tech savvy Kristen. But it worked. So do you want to maybe do like just a 2-sentence recap of kind of what you guys talked about last time?
Yeah. Aaliyah, you want to take that?
It's not me.
Now go ahead and recap what we did last week.
Oh, Aaliyah, do you want to recap?
Oh, sure. Well, we were trying to get some structure going as far as how to introduce it. I think I sort of talked to you on the phone about it, about the idea of you introducing the subject, bringing a story in, and then sort of starting the conversation.
Right. Yes, and this we were going to talk about like social media and dating, and we were going to kind of
right. Yeah.
Absolutely, of course, and getting the take on. I mean, do we want to kind of lead a conversation between Abigail and Trey about that, and like of course,
and you as well, because I know you definitely have some good things to say about that too. So I know we're just kind of working through. Hopefully, it'll just be something we'll figure out as we go.
Sure. Sure.
Structure, but for right now, I'm not sure, what would be best as far as.
Well, that first meeting we had, Aaliyah. Oh, go ahead, Trey.
Now, what I was going to suggest is that, one of the things that comes to mind that might work here as a good format is that, if you watch CNN, usually what happens, watch like a Wolf Blitzer, he has a guest on, and there's a topic. But then they often go.
Oh, no.
No! Did he freeze? Yeah.
Where, the conversation starts out with you, Kristen, whoever the guest is, and then I'm the talking head. So, you can go to me to ask, what input I might have or what are my thoughts on the subject. But the real conversation really takes place between you and the guest.
Right. Okay. Well, just even kicking that off and referring to the notes that we took, Aaliyah, from our first meeting, opening up with the question about dating in a social media world, how it's affected relationships, and so maybe kind of opening up the conversation to how dating is now as opposed to 10 years ago.
Right.
How social media changes perhaps the whole game.
Right.
And maybe people's experiences, maybe starting, if you want to open up and share, Aaliyah, your experiences, and then from there getting Trey's take on that and snowballing from there.
Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed about my own experience.
Sure, we don't have to discuss yours.
It can be anonymous.
I mean, we can use.
Let's talk about Abigail's then.
Or I could use a non-disclosure friend of mine,
Sure.
and you can chime in, Abigail, and of course Trey, but just maybe trying to stay strong in a social media world where how do you do it when you're able to check a page and follow up and see who liked it, and what was once perhaps a very level-headed girl perhaps has turned, how has it made dating so casual, and how can a guy be friends with 6 people that he met in a bathroom line, but he's not going to be friends with the girl that he's dating?
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Patrick won't be my friend on Facebook.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, and yeah.
What's your comment, Abby?
I was gonna say my current boyfriend will not be my friend on Facebook.
My mom and her husband at the time were not friends on Facebook. Like, it just was weird.
Well, he was just like he thinks that there's some things that should like be left unknown, and he thinks that social media is one of them, and so he's like, I don't think we shouldn't be involved in every aspect of our lives.
But he's probably friends with like a girl that he met at the beach, like.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
Which I guess I mean, Trey, maybe you have a take on that. Like, is it make it more intimate, less intimate? Can you just be, fair weather friends with someone on Facebook, and that's why it's so, flighty? And then with someone that you're very intimate with, you're keeping those boundaries because you want to take it further with them. I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, I think the reality is that from a man's point of view, if he doesn't want to interact with you on social media, that's probably because, he
He'll come back.
having a person on Facebook that you're also involved in a relationship, unless you're trying to do things on Facebook that you don't want them to see or be aware of. So I think that's a red flag, to be honest with you, if they're reluctant to connect with you online. But the reality is that, some of that also depends on age. For me, I don't spend a lot of time on social media. So, and I prefer to have direct conversations with people, but that's because, I'm old. But at the end of the day, given the way people communicate, you should be able to be friends on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It shouldn't matter.
Well, that's how I feel. I mean, I'm truth, through and through. What you see is what you get with me. So, like, if you're my friends on Facebook, you're going to see what I post. And I really can't, I don't post that often, but I don't have a second thought about it. It's like, if you like me, follow me. If you don't, bust out. And if I'm dating a guy, sure, I mean, follow me. I might watch what I say for the first couple months if I were to do that, maybe like, okay, he's following, maybe I'll just kind of, curb it, but I guess for me it's like, yeah, what you see is what you get. So I would hope that would be the same way if I was dating a guy, or
Right.
be honest, but I mean, I guess I could, I guess I could see how, yeah, you may want to keep, I don't know, some things sacred or like a little bit, to yourself.
Yeah, like I understand that, but my thing is like when you have a social media platform that you have like hundreds of friends, like hundreds, and
Right.
then the one person that you're like actually in a relationship with, you're like, no, we just need to keep some of our lives private. I'm like,
Right.
Yeah,
Where you'd be like, oh, okay, that's strange.
Yeah, I thought it was strange too. And granted, he doesn't like he doesn't like me being on my phone all the time or like that kind of thing. But I don't even post on Facebook like really that often at all. I think the last time I posted was like a couple weeks ago. So
Right.
I got nothing to hide. Buddy,
Yeah.
what do you got to hide?
Yeah. I mean, Trey, are you of the nature that, you will make a phone call when you want to reach out to a woman? You will send her, a voice message. You're not of the, mind to text or send just a message on Facebook. Like, you're of the old school, which not even being old, but of the old school traditional method.
the reality is that I think there's an appropriateness to the way in which you communicate to anyone, regardless of whether they're a friend or a lover or whatever. And so for me, I'm not going to communicate at all to anyone of any importance via social media. You know, sending them some type of post through Facebook. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Now, if it's someone's birthday and I don't really know them very well, and and it pops up that Joe's birthday is coming up, I may use Facebook to communicate a happy birthday note. But for somebody that I really, certainly somebody that I'm involved with, I'm not going to be communicating via Facebook in the first place. Now, with regard to text, I listen to people talk about how they carry on these involved conversations and interact on a daily basis via Twitter. Again, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, or via text.
Go on.
I see what he's saying though. Like I'm not gonna write on my who I'm involved with. I'm not gonna write on his wall. Like I know some people, they're like super involved on the social media. They want it to be known, their relationship to be known. Like I'm not gonna write on his wall like, oh sweetie kind of thing, or I would probably not even write anything. I probably wouldn't even put in a relationship on Facebook, like how you can put in a relationship or something.
Yeah.
Definitely cool. Definitely not gonna communicate via Twitter. Yeah, I think if you're in a relationship with someone, then talk on the phone, text, that kind of thing. But don't air your relationship out on social media. But then again, there's nothing wrong with being like each other's friends or following each other.
Right.
That's my thing.
Yeah, it's such an interesting thing, and it's a whole new way of dating. It really is, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of ruined the art of dating a little bit, and just set it into a whole another dimension, and I don't know, where people can stalk and they can be voyeurs and and kind of maybe even judge the person a little bit before even it's just made everything so very casual and so very flippant, to where if you're bored or something, you move on. And yeah, maybe we should just take social media out of the whole dating equation in general, but then people are like, what, you don't use Facebook?
Right.
It's just become this thing. I mean, my fiance doesn't have Facebook. He never has, and I don't know if he ever will, and it's kind of sexy, but then again, he's untapped to the whole world, to a lot of the world. So, I don't know. Aaliyah, what else? We touched on a couple different aspects, though, of social media in our first meeting. I don't know if you have those notes.
Yeah, I think I put them I think I have them in the car. I think a big thing that I've noticed with people who I know and, close acquaintances is the effects that it has on just, I know doctors who are dating people and have, these very professional jobs and careers. And I know one who's on Match.com and is dealing with a relationship and just doing all kinds of all kinds of detective work on the side to try to figure out what this guy is up to.
So these bright, strong women,
oh gosh, I mean, yeah.
And they're succumbing to sort of this childish, kind of.
Right. Just the worst of all insecurities.
Sure. And on a platform that was never there 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It would have maybe been strong throughout, but it's weakening them. It's weakening society essentially a little bit, but that's a whole nother soapbox.
Right.
Yeah,
and I do wonder, men, how it affects them. How does social media affect men? Because I know, just a lot of women, including myself, I think most women that I know, to some capacity, have to deal with social media and relationships and the guy that they're dating or the guy that they've been with for years, and kind of wondering what is this relationship, and is it something I should be concerned about?
It's definitely ruined and strengthened relationships, but Trey, how do you feel like like the modern day woman, like how do you feel about her, you know? Do you see a weak woman?
Well,
Do you see her attached to social media? Do you see her creep in? What do you feel?
well, I don't know that I view women through the lens of social media, to be honest. I think the reality is that most people, including men and women, I will say, I think unfortunately tend to use social media in some of the wrong ways. I mean, as an example, it's used in some cases to perpetrate a fraud. You know, whether you go on Match, whether you look on Facebook, you know, you have an awful lot of people that have a tendency to create a whole facade that has nothing to do with who they really are. They post pictures that aren't really pictures of them. They talk about things that they don't really do. They express interests.
What is it called? Catfished?
That people, you know, can't get past. So that tends to harm relationships. The other part is that, you know, people have a tendency to post personal information that is way too far over the line, and so it gives you that you actually know a person a lot better than you do because you've learned about them through social media. So at the end of the day,
That's a good
I
point.
think the challenge for people going forward is to recognize that social media has both benefits and detriments. The benefit is that you can communicate in real time. You can express feelings that you may find difficult to express directly.
Mm-hmm. Because you're behind sort of this like mask of the computer.
Same time, I think it can create a problem, and I see it more with women than I've seen it with men, and maybe that's just because I'm not looking at men's profiles on social media or on Match, but I know that
Uh-oh.
years that I've met on Match. But I've also met a number of women that, again, it's unbelievable. You read their profile, you look at their pictures, and then you meet them, and it's a totally different person.
Right.
I don't understand why people do that. Of course, that's a phenomena of social media, but the reality is that, again, I get back to the fact that I think if you know how to use it appropriately, it can be a benefit. Be honest. I mean, you know, you will have a much broader access to finding the type of man that you want in a relationship by virtue of the internet. That's the good news. The bad news is that you need to be straight about who you are, what you want, what your interests are, and then, you know, people will migrate toward that profile. You know, if you fabricate something, you're going to attract people that are going to be interested in whoever that fabrication is. But of course, if you ever meet, it's not going to work.
Well, and this is like a kind of an extreme example, but there's this, it's called catfish. And basically, you know, it's becoming more popular these days. Now, granted, the show is a little dramatic, but it has some validity to it. There's so many people that are doing online dating now that, you know, it may take forever for you to meet the person. And so you develop this relationship online, and you know, you think you fall in love with the person, you think you're going to, you know, you fantasize about all that you're going to meet finally, kind of thing. And then in the show, it turns out that the person never existed, or it was under some fake person, or just it turns out to be not even who you thought the person was going to be. And I think that can happen so many times with online dating. I mean, yes, I personally know friends that it's been successful. One of my best friends met her fiance on Tinder. But, you know, also I think you, like you were saying, you can hide behind this computer and you can be anyone you want to be. And then when you finally meet and it can be shambles.
I think for some people it's super malicious, or it's not even malicious. It's like somebody might be really insecure, so they want to project this person that they wish they could be, you know. So it might be like it might be thought out in that way. For some people, it might just be a projection of themselves that they think about themselves, but when in actuality it's not. Like there'll be 4 boxes they can check. Do you like exercise or whatever? And they're like, well, I like to walk, so I can click on that. Like it's kind of a gray area that you have to sort of create this profile, and you know, like, and you put a picture that maybe was 4 years ago. And that's never good, because you know you don't look like that anymore. You know? Yeah. So some of it might be very, you know, strategic, and some of it might just be like, you know, well, I have these 4 boxes to choose from of hobbies that I like, and I have, you know, these 4 pictures to put up, you know, and maybe it was 4 years ago, but I still look the same, or I don't know, you know, whatever. This perception that they're, you know, they think that they're something when maybe they're not. They're like, oh yeah, I like outdoors, and they've been like, you know, to Torrey Pines like once or whatever, you know.
No,
So
you can definitely exaggerate on social media, and also for social media, it also going back to, you know, online dating or Facebook, Twitter kind of thing, it puts out the persona that you're always happy. You only post your best versions of yourself.
Right.
So
and when you're looking at it, you could be hungover, you're at your worst probably. You could be sick, you know, and you're scrolling through.
Right. And so it paints this picture that everything's, you know, great and fun and everything. And so I think it has that negative perception, and especially, you know, if you break up with someone, or, you know, I know I'm guilty of stalking my ex after, like, on social media, and, you know, if they portray this, I guess, you know, everything's going great and so happy kind of thing, then it just makes the other person feel kind of like not good, because they're like, oh, they moved on so quickly, like, you know, how's that? And it makes just like the break off so much harder than if you just never saw the person again.
Right. Well, bottom line, and maybe you can chime in, Trey, and maybe that's what this will be a platform for, total empowerment. Bottom line is you have to be stronger than the Facebook. Like, you have to, like, A, know that grass isn't always greener. B, just take it with a grain of salt and know that they're posting all their beautiful moments, and they're going to have some down moments. They probably had a couple fights with this person, that person, whatever. Not that you want them to have down moments, but for every up moment, there's probably a moment where they've had to reflect or had to take a second. So it almost is like it's like empowering women, like, so when they get on Facebook or social media, they just can rise above, essentially. They just can be like, I'm going to take this with a grain of salt. I'm going to post my positive things. I'm going to be on it for a short amount of time. I'm going to boom, boom, you know, and then I'm off. And then you leave it at the table. You just, maybe that's what this platform can be for, brass tacks. And what do you think, Trey? Rising above, you know, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Trey?
Have far more access to people than you've ever had before. So that means that I think for it to work, specifically for women, you know, there should be some rules of engagement. The first is that post pictures that are at least a general.
Yeah.
Yes.
To put a picture of you 10 years ago and think that that's going to get anything, there's going to be any upside for that. Now, I understand people want to put their best foot forward, but you know, you need to make sure that the picture looks somewhat like you. The second piece is that, again, men are very body conscious. women come in all.
Uh-oh.
Fine, but if you read about that description, and men will respond because men like women in all shapes and sizes.
That's right.
And then I think the third thing is that you need to press for the time with really meeting. They develop feelings, they create this pseudo relationship, but they never meet. We're interested in them. I mean, at some point in a reasonable time, you should try to meet them to make sure that your feelings that are developing are in sync with the person that you're sitting across the table from. And then, of course, the last thing is that if you do get in a relationship and it ends, then you need to really fight hard to end the relationship on social media. I mean, I know people that break up and a year later, they're still checking the person's Facebook page. They're trying to email them, and they won't let it go.
It makes them bonkers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It makes you go crazy. Like, and you find yourself obsessively checking about it. And the simple thing would be to just unfollow the person, defriend the person.
Rise above.
That'd be the easy thing to do, right? But it's you've got to make sure. It's almost like you've got to make sure that they're doing worse than you, or you want to know who they're talking to, kind of thing. It's such a mind game too. It's a mind game.
And when there wasn't Facebook, you could just assume, like, oh, they're miserable or whatever.
Right. Exactly. Make up that they're miserable without you, that kind of thing. Yeah. And you moved on. You were able to move on so much faster because out of sight, out of mind. But even if the past relationship is all the way across the country, social media has made it to where you can still keep tabs, know exactly what's happening.
Right. Well, those are great tips, Trey. I mean, I think that's something we can build off of. And again, just as we move forward, with maybe our next session is kind of going off the social media. We could elaborate a little more on that, but even that step further of like, okay, how do we get at the root? How can we empower women? How can we, just get back to the art of sort of, dating or strength for the woman or the feminist movement, and I guess that's what this is all about. So I think we've started a good conversation, and I know we've done about a little under 30-minute conversation, and so maybe when we revisit next time, those are some points we can even elaborate on. I think that's a good
right. Yeah.
I think that's a good stopping point, and I think it's a good. We've built a little bit of what we want to move forward with here.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Great, some great points. It's good to know that like the art is not dead. You are not totally like invested in Facebook. You're meeting women other ways.
Well, speaking on that, it was just the sweetest thing. I reconnected with this guy who it's probably been about 10 years since I've seen him. And
did you reconnect through Facebook?
Yeah, but by text message.
Okay. Because it's beautiful too. Like it connects people,
Yeah, that is a plus.
But the sweetest thing was hearing him say that, he still felt a pitter patter in his heart.
Right. You were the one that got away.
What's that?
You were like the one that got away, and he found you through social media, perhaps.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, but there are feelings that men have that there still are those butterflies that I think you can only get when social media, social media can be distracting.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah, it's connecting people, but it's downplaying or it's cheapening. It's cheapening some things.
Right.
Yeah, well, even the live experience, we can talk about that as well. Maybe later. I know when the guy that I'm in a relationship with now, sometimes we'll go to dinner and we'll purposely both leave our phones at home
Yeah.
Because we know, like, he was like, I know we would have checked our phones 30 times, like, scrolling through stuff, like, social media, being focused on other people's lives and not the person that you're right in front of. So that's also
right.
a way.
That's right. I recently got off of Instagram because I found myself scrolling while my, fiance were, having a conversation, and it's like, done. Like, I'm off for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
So unplugging is good. And Abigail, that's great. I mean, not to knock on your age, but that's very like that's very forward thinking for your generation, because it is so phone, connect.
Quite a bit older.
He's older?
Yes, he's older.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Very mature move on his part, and yours to, both of you to do that. So good. Well, I think that this is, we can build on this. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. We can do some fine tuning, but I think we've got something good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've got something good, and we can work from there. So yeah, I mean, Trey, gosh, thank you. Like, this is a really cool. If we can keep this hangout sesh,
I like it.
We can work with this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the flow was like we all.
Right.
There was no.
Is there any closing words, Trey and Abigail?
I think.
No, I think it was a good.
Yeah, I think my thing is next week we could talk about like you were saying, how to empower women to. We know social media is like gets in the way and is a problem, but it also has its benefits. So how to learn to best use it,
Right.
For our benefit, but at the same way empower us women to not let it control, because it's such a controlling factor now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, taking it out of the equation almost altogether. Can we? So, well, good. Well, thank you. That's great. That's a good idea. We'll keep that in mind. We'll kind of play off of that, I think, Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely. And I think you and Trey kind of coming off as the experts, and then together we'll figure it out. But we've got a good thing.
Yeah, and then I mean, Abigail having some great points just from life experience.
Right.
Of course. And I mean, I'm an old, ball. I got an old ball and chain, but I can, tap from what I know. The old ball and chain. Yeah. But I can tap from past dating experiences, of course, and go from there. So,
right.
Well, thank you. Aaliyah, we can talk offline maybe about another time, perhaps maybe next week, or even doing it every other week.
Right.
But I'm excited.
Yeah, good. Me too. It's exciting.
Great, good to see your face, man.
All right, same here.
After all these years, yeah. All right. Well, good night to you. And then Trey, I guess, will you show us how to, or like we can watch it back?
Yeah, I'll send you guys a link to both of them.
Awesome. Okay, guys. Well, thank you. Aaliyah, be in touch.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right. Good night.
Okay, good night.
See you guys.
Good night.
Good night.